just the overall song is like a great piece of art. So we've never had that on a Korn record, I don't think.
My God. Hey, Winston! Pedal faster!
Did you watch the docudrama before it, A Journey in Space Time?
I watched part of it. Kate had downloaded it off the PlayStation Network or Sony Network, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The
Yeah,
Sony store.
you can stream it. You can stream it from BBC's website too. I'll put it up there for that.
Well, I got her a PlayStation Network card like a couple of months ago as a gift because I thought she'd use it to find indie games she likes, but apparently that's, not something she's into, so she's been using it to download, like, episodes of New Girl.
Wow, what a waste.
Yeah.
You can get those for free by just downloading them anywhere online or Hulu.
Yeah.
It's sad. How much was that card? Next time, send that shit to me.
I don't need it.
But anyway, it was good. It just wasn't as good as I'd hoped because there were certain people that didn't want to come back, and then there were other people that weren't really asked.
I heard something. I couldn't figure out whether it was a joke, like part of the publicity, but like Sylvester McCoy and a couple other people from the doctors, kind of in the middle, were like boycotting the BBC or some shit the other day. There's like a picture of them.
I think it was part of the publicity because they released a video that was obviously done by the people of Doctor Who that do the show, called the Five-ish Doctors Reboot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
and it's the ones that supposedly weren't asked to come back, minus like Eccleston, because Eccleston's the one that didn't want to.
Because he had so much more important things to do, like being a dark elf and Thor.
No, the reason he had one season on the BBC is because they had sour relations. Well, that's their story. His story is like he felt like he was being completely upstaged and used to launch like the shitty Torchwood show. Like that's what he felt like they were using him for. So he was like, "Well, fuck you guys." Like,
which is weird because there's only like one episode with Torchwood in it in that season, I think, because they show up and you see Jack, and then it goes right back to being it's like a backdoor pilot like any other TV show does.
Well, there's Jack in the like London bombing episodes, and then there's, which I think is a 2-part. But then there's there's Jack in the 2-part at the end of the series, and then Rose brings him back to life, which is supposed to kick off his like crazy infinite deaths cycle, because of what she does to him. But I don't know. Maybe Eccleston had access to what they were writing, because at the time Russell T Davies was the one doing most of it.
He was the one who brought it back,
and
Moffat took over, or Moffat, or whatever.
But anyway, that five Doctors reboot thing was pretty funny. It was all them talking about boycotting the BBC and doing their own thing. It's just like a little joke short movie. And Jack shows up because he's one of the ones that, I don't know if he didn't get asked or didn't want to or was busy or whatever, but he just walks into the frame for like 2 seconds because I don't remember who it is. I think it's Sylvester McCoy. He's like holding a BBC protest sign, and he walks up to him. He's like, they filmed the show in Cardiff, right? And then he just like keeps walking. But
he was busy.
Paul McGann was in that little Five-ish Doctors reboot like video they did. But
was he the one that was in the that little short they did where he tries to rescue the chick?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was funny because he actually did end up being part of the story. They brought him in. Mostly it was basically to concrete the canon because it's been debated
where the War Doctor came from.
Well, it's been debate whether or not he was even a legit doctor.
Yeah, because he was a TV movie or whatever, right?
Yeah, and two, like how many of his companions from the books and like the radio dramas and stuff were legit. So like there's a part of that little skit where he's like calling out their names before he drinks his John Hurt juice. And
Yeah, because like I read he's the only doctor that determines exactly how he's going to come back or whatever.
yeah,
But,
because the planet he crashes on, these people have like taken Time Lord science and they can like affect regeneration however, and he chooses a warrior, and so he gets John Hurt.
An old ass warrior apparently.
Well, when you're a Time Lord, you don't have to be physically fit. You just have to have the right mindset, I guess. But no, I mean the 50th anniversary was really, I mean, it was really cool. Like I like what they did with the story. As far as like, essentially now they've saved Gallifrey, so he just has to go find it.
Oh, so what they do? Go back in time and save it, basically?
Well, what happens?
Because it was destroyed in the Time War, right?
Here was my speculation before it came out, because I knew they invited Tennant and Billy Piper back, and I was like, oh, sweet, they'll get the Doctor clone and Rose from the alternate universe. No, that's not what they did with them. Rose isn't in it at all, but Billy Piper plays like the weapon that he was going to use to end the war that destroys all of the people. This is major spoilers, by the way. Just for,
I don't give a shit. I'm so far behind, it doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Oh
about
no, I'm
Doctor
saying
Who.
major spoilers for like anybody out there listening.
Fuck
Ha ha ha! Fuck you guys.
The weapon that he's going to use to like kill everything. It has like an artificial intelligence that's developed a conscience of its own. And she manifests herself, or it manifests itself as Rose, which is like their way of sneaking her in.
Because I was curious, I saw her in the trailer. I was wondering how she came back. Because I
But
thought she
Tennant-
died, didn't she?
Tennant's doctor is actually Tennant, and the way they're able to cross the timelines is that weapon is so powerful it opens up all these wormholes for the doctor to basically go see his future before he makes the decision to kill everybody. And so like the whole thing is about him like having these 400 years of like remorse and regret for killing just the children that died on his planet were like 2.47 billion children. And so, like, they come up with a really clever way at the end to save the planet. He's like, well, I've had 400 years to think about it. And he's like, I don't want to see this again. The only thing that's potentially problematic about the way they've, like, done this story arc and the way they introduced John Hurt as, like, a completely different regeneration between Paul McGann and Eccleston is that they always said, it was always like, it's been a part of the lore for a long time that the Doctor would only have like 13, incarnations of regenerations, which depending on how you want to word it, either
Which
means
means you only got 2 left.
14 of them. Well, yeah, you would think, because technically they're calling Peter Capaldi number 12, but if they're jumping John Hurt in there, then that technically bumps all the ones after him up a notch, which means Capaldi would technically be the 13th.
See, that's why I know I'm not I'm not super, up to date on it and know all the specific lore and everything. I mean, I know a decent amount, but see, I hadn't heard or remembered anything about a specific, number that they had to have.
I think it's from before Moffat even took up the show.
From like way back in the day.
I think. The little guest appearances in it are really cool. At the very end, Tom shit. What's his name?
Tom Shit.
Tom, Dick, and Harry.
The one with the scarf.
Oh, the dude from the 70s. The one who has the most iconic look at the Doctor.
Yeah, Tom Baker. He shows up and they don't like come out and say that he's him as the Doctor. He his speech patterns with Matt Smith are kind of like his little speech with him is basically just like kind of jib-jabbing and joking about like the possibility that he's the Doctor. But he's the one that tells him the title of the painting at the end. which is what lets Matt Smith know that he was successful in saving it. But he has that little cameo, so his is funny. They make all kinds of great jokes, like the whole time John Hurt's like giving them shit for their little catchphrases that they have on the show, like timey-wimey and shit like that. He's like, really? He's like, why don't you talk like an adult? The best joke ever is when John Hurt knows he's getting ready to regenerate because the war's over or whatever. So he's like, I hope my ears are okay or something like that, which is great because he's the one that gets turned into Eccleston with gigantic fucking ears.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I mean,
especially since they don't like Eccleston. One
You
way
didn't
or
like
the other.
Eccleston?
No, I said especially since they didn't like Eccleston.
I don't know.
I think Eccleston's cool. I think the best thing he's done on TV though was still his part in Heroes. I thought he was a gangster in fucking Heroes.
Oh yeah, this is the dude that could turn invisible.
Like that's what maybe because I watched that before I went back and started watching Doctor Who. I was like, holy shit, it's fucking Christopher Eccleston. I was like, that's awesome. I love. He was in something else too. What was he in? What movie was he was in that I always fucking remember from, and I can't remember right now. He was in like a movie because that's why I knew his name before Doctor Who and before Heroes. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, if I know, man.
At this juncture. Oh well, fuck it.
Wait, what's his first name again?
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, Christopher Eccleston. It's like ECCLEST ON or ION or whatever.
Why am I tired? All of those reasons.
Are you tired? You're tired
But I
of
also-
losing last night, you fucking alky.
I also went to see
Don't
Catching Fire
shame
this
me.
weekend.
That was awesome.
I haven't
was
watched
like-
it yet.
I liked it
said-
better than the first one.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, like as a movie, it was so much better put together as far as the acting and the pacing and everything. I love Francis Lawrence. I know a lot of people give him shit, but I actually really like Constantine. So fuck you guys.
I like Constantine.
I never
Well,
said
no, I'm
anything
talking
bad
about-
about
I own
it.
the shit on
I'm talking
Blu-ray.
I do too. I'm talking about all the people that don't though. And yeah, I know it's
Oh.
not, British blonde, Constantine, but I thought they got the spirit of him right.
Well, and
Yeah.
like the douchey spirit, which is what I was looking for.
Keanu did a pretty good job of being exactly what he needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. And that was Francis Lawrence's first movie he ever directed. And a lot of people give him shit for it. And I was like, I don't know, it's pretty strong.
Well,
His
not
next
to
movie was
mention-
I Am Legend, which, I Am Legend, not my favorite movie of all time, but I think it was well directed.
decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad.
His next movie, though, I haven't seen. I don't plan
The
on
only
seeing.
thing
That
I
was
really didn't
Water
like in
for
I Am
Elephants.
Legend was
Water for Elephants. Which one of these doesn't fit?
that's a little bit of a different a change in pace. Oh no, the only thing I didn't like about I Am Legend really was the CGI. Like
Same.
I thought the CGI in it was kind of like weak sauce for how large a budget it was.
Yeah, I think if they
It's like-
had gone with
has-
live actors instead of CGI, that movie would have been better.
Have these artists ever seen what a deer looks like in real life? Because I'm betting not.
No,
But
Constant-
no. The Catching Fire was good. Like, I mean, the first one is a movie that I liked enough to watch and maybe rewatch, but not quite enough to buy.
Yeah, and when I said awesome, don't get me
one,
wrong. I'm not,
the second
I'm
one I
not
would
talking
buy.
about I'm not talking about Star Wars, Indiana Jones, like classic for the rest of life awesome. But I mean, for the type of movie it is, which is a movie based off a book, not just a book, but a young adult novel. I mean, I thought he did a really good job, and of course, the actors in it. I thought the actors just overall did a way better job acting and conveying emotion.
Even with the elements I didn't like the whole and we're probably going to get into spoilers again, but like the whole elements of like the weird love triangle thing that develops, like that felt way less hokey than it did in the first movie.
Yeah, I mean, she even takes time to say she's like, I don't have time to deal with this shit right now. I'm too busy having PTSD. Well, I mean, that's what's going on with her.
Well, yeah.
I think it's interesting though that as soon as she gets thrown back into into the arena, that shit like goes away, and she's just plunking arrows like a boss.
Yeah.
Like it's
But
only
let me
affecting
just-
her in the outside world, like when she's hunting and she like imagines that she just shot a person instead of a turkey, and like, but once she's back in the arena to show off like her skills or whatever, she's gonna teach the old lady how to bow hunt. She's in there like a fucking boss.
Sometimes you just got to get that shit done. Yeah, I mean, I think those books in general, while it's still not the greatest literature ever, which that's okay, are so leaps and bounds above the other young adult shit that I've seen. Like, for instance, Twilight. It's so much better written. It's not even funny. It's just not even a fucking competition. Twilight is just. I have no
Can
problem
we-
if you like
can-
it.
can we not
other
talk
that
about
you're
that?
a bad person. But it's not good. I mean, that's okay. Everybody likes stuff that's not good. That's fine. But the difference is you don't need to be like, this is the most awesome thing ever. No, understand that what you like is not good, admit it, and still enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But people don't do that
Well,
with
Chris-
Twilight. They think it's
Chris,
the pinnacle of literature.
I feel like you must give an example of what you're talking about. So, what is something that you enjoy that is atrocious?
All right, let's see. All right, now neither one of you are going to think this probably, but once again, an example. All right, Army of Darkness. I love Army of Darkness. There is no stretch of the imagination where Army of Darkness is a good movie.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a good movie, and in fact, it's that it doesn't even really try to be a good movie that it kind of garners my respect a little bit. But yeah, like no, exactly. I wouldn't call Army of Darkness a good movie, but I enjoyed the hell out.
Yeah, I mean,
And
stuff like
yeah.
that. Like, all right,
Still to
the Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. If you haven't seen that, take time and go see it or rent it or whatever. Like, that movie is awful, but it is awfully good because it's so fucking crazy.
It's kind of like I watched G.I. Joe Retaliation. Like I used that as one of my Redbox instant credits the other
That's
day.
a decent little action movie.
And that same thing. Not a good movie at all, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean that's all it tries to be.
Well, I guess like the werewolf movie Cursed movie, not really amazing, but everything that happens in it is beautiful.
Well, the
I remember which one
PG-13
that
theatrical
movie is.
version of that movie sucked ass.
The
What is that? I
unrated
can't
one?
remember.
It was the one
with
with
Christina
Christina
Ricci.
Yeah. The unrated director's cut version of it was much better. I don't know what they changed. Like I never actually sat down to try to enumerate the changes, but I remember when I watched the unrated one, I liked it much better than I did when I went to the theater to see the other one. When I went to the theater to see the other one, it's one of the like 5 movies that ever come out of the movie theater like hating having spent the money. The other one that pops to mind instantly. And see, this is an example of a movie that was so bad that I just won't even call it good. Fucking goddamn Van Helsing. Really?
Yeah, it was awful. And which is sad because I was looking so forward to that because that's like my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And they got good actors, too. It's like fucking Kate Beckinsale, Hugh Jackman. You got, what's his face that played Q from Extraordinary Gentleman doing Dracula. I mean, shit, you had a little, like, gimpy one-eyed guy from 300 playing his assistant.
See,
Come on, man. You got
the guy who
cool
played Faramir that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. I always forget his name. It's like Steven something.
Faramir. His name's Faramir.
But like
And the guy who
this
wasn't
actor-
Leonidas that didn't die. That's his name.
Well, yeah, as I said, his gimpy one-eyed friend from 300.
No, I mean, yeah, that's his name. I mean, that's what he
But-
answers to. Hey, not Leonidas.
Well, I was like, looking at the list of characters and looking at the subject matter and the actors and everything, and even Stephen Sommers, because I love The Mummy. And The Mummy,
Mummy's fucking awesome.
and The Mummy 2, while not nearly as good, was still enjoyable.
Yeah, but Mummy 1 is just a classic.
Well,
The first Mummy's gold.
I was talking to Thomas about this. Like the first mummy that came out, and you're like, okay, that's entertaining. And then you watch it a few more times, and you're like, okay, that movie's good. You watch it a few more times and you're like, why is this movie so fucking good? You watch it a few more times and you're like, I just love this movie. I don't know
I think
why.
it's because it's the perfect balance of being a little creepy. It's not really scary.
No.
A little creepy, and being action and being funny. It has great comedic timing. I mean, it's still got one of the funniest gags in it. To me, when they get off that boat that's on fire, the river boat, and like Benny steals all the shit, and he's like, "Oh God! Oh, once again, I find myself with the horses. I win and you lose." Like, "Oh yeah, Benny. Well, I know something you don't. You're on the wrong side of the river." And that shit is just so funny to me. It's not. I don't even know how to describe. I don't know why it's that funny, but it is.
Well,
There's so many things in that movie that you could turn into gifs. Like when he tosses the fucking chair across the legs, Benny, like perfect gif moment. When he like screams at the mummies and makes this weird face. Just all kinds of gold in that.
Well, I feel 2 was good. Not it's almost as good until you get to definitely the CGI rock. But
Yeah, that's classic.
oh yeah,
It's almost as good as the CGI guy that he has to fight when he's becoming the Scorpion King in like the prequel sequel, where it had like the Randy Orton or whatever the guy's
right.
name from is.
Yes.
Where like they're like he turns into a giant scorpion monster, like, and he can go invisible, so he has to fight him invisibly. I was like, oh, that's so great.
yeah.
They made him
I
invisible
remember-
so I didn't have money.
I remember that shit. And like the only way you can see him is by spilling oil on him, like black oil or tar or some shit. So like they only have to CGI like part of the scorpion after that.
I was like, way to go, guys.
I
So,
don't think West has ever seen that. Probably.
Wait.
It was this direct to DVD movie that was the prequel to the Scorpion King.
no, I haven't seen that. Like I've seen that it exists.
It's so bad. It's
Really?
not even. It's not, and it's not enjoyable. It's not bad in a good way.
Well, like the Scorpion King,
it's just good to pick on.
the Scorpion King is a not good movie, but is a hell of a lot better than a lot of other movies out there. And they did this really wonderful thing where they kept The Rock from talking a lot, because that was around the time that he didn't know what acting was. He was like, "I'm still a wrestler, but not as good yet." Physical actor, great. Verbal actor, bad. And then we get the rundown, and we're all very happy.
Well, the problem I have with the Scorpion King is like it sets things up, immediately abandons him like 5 minutes later, and then it repeatedly does that throughout the movie. Like the beginning of the movie when he's rescuing his brother and like he's like throwing people across the room like 30 fucking feet, and I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm in disbelief. I'm like, this is goddamn awful. I was like, but well, if they keep it up the whole movie, at least I'll think The Rock is a badass. And then immediately after that, he no longer has his like Superman strength. It's like, where the fuck did that go? There's no explanation. There's no nothing. It's just like, we wanted to have a really cool opening credit sequence, and then the rest of the movie can blow goats. Like, I fucking hated that movie. And John was the one that drugged me to see that shit. And I was like, God damn it, John. Why? Like, why trust? I can't trust John with movies anymore, because the other time John sat me down and was like, dude, there's this awesome movie I saw and we need to go rent it. Was Queen of the Damned.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Get
Yeah.
Stuart
What?
Townsend, baby.
What, you don't like you some Queen of the Damned?
You know,
Oh,
like
yeah,
Jonathan
I
singing the David Draymond song.
Yeah, I absolutely love the fact that Stuart Townsend's singing voice is apparently Korn.
Which is ironic because nowadays Korn is wishing it was their singing voice.
Yeah.
Have you heard the new Korn song?
No.
You need to fucking Spotify that shit. It is the weirdest. Listen to me when I tell you it's an upbeat Korn song.
What? Like
Yeah.
like Skrillex upbeat?
Like just the get. You know how the guitars and
nothing
stuff
that
are like
else
normally like
is
crunchy and heavy and stuff, and
bad.
kind of sound like dark. I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guitars on it just sound upbeat. I don't know how to describe it.
Like
to you.
happy?
Kind of.
Well, I know
It's
going
like
at the
the
beginning
name of
of
the
this
song is like
episode.
Never or something like that.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I'll never fall in love again or something. And it's
Oh,
the lyrics aren't
man.
the lyrics aren't happy, but if you listen to the music, you're just like, wait, what? I'm telling you, go listen to it. Spotify that shit or whatever your choice may be. YouTube, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, You need to hear this. You need to see how far they've come.
Well,
Yeah, no, I'll pass.
they've done very well of only having like 2 love songs. The first one was like, this is a love song about me not really gonna write a love song, and the second one was
when that was called Love Song.
Yep. It was the one off the Follow the Leader album.
Well, Love Song was off of whatever the fuck it was that had Twisted Transistor on it.
That was fuck. It's
The other side or
Yes.
Dark Side of Nowhere or some shit like that. Other Side of Nowhere.
other
I think
side.
it's like Take Me to the Other Side.
Or the Other Side or some
Yeah.
shit like that.
the album.
You can
that's like,
you can
Korn
tell
is
I've
still
clearly
alive!
stopped caring about Korn.
Yes. that particular
Once
album
they decided
came
to go
out-
dubstep, I was like, nope.
well, that,
Nothing good involves dubstep. Nothing. Oh no. That's not correct. There's one good song that features dubstep, and that's only because it's kind of making a mockery of dubstep. And that's the song by the guy that does What Does the Fox Say?
What
You
does
need to
the fox
you
say?
need to YouTube that shit. He has another video that's done to joke picking on dubstep.
All right, so hold on. Let me see if you can hear this. I don't know if it'll play through since I'm not muting it. I want you to be able to hear this. Can you hear it?
no.
No.
Well, is it? Are you looking up the Korn because you guys can hear it on my end, right?
I was trying to see if it would play through the headphones or through my speaker since it's going into my headphones.
Nah.
No, it doesn't work that way. I've got mine on a loop, so we can do it.
Okay.
Uh,
Just it'll only take like 15, 20 seconds. You'll understand.
okay, so I'm looking just for the beginning of the song
Just type in Never Never into YouTube or wherever.
in the YouTube. I've got it. Never, never.
I said into YouTube, not in the YouTube.
In the YouTube.
What the fuck is that?
That's a commercial. I hate YouTube.
I was like, did you just get Rick rolled?
Yeah, I just got rickrolled.
But on the bright side, West, at least you're not paying $7.99 a month for YouTube.
Why would I be paying? You.
If you were, and they were still
on,
making
hold
you making you see commercials, you could complain.
Wait till the guitar starts. You'll understand.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I know how I feel about it.
Does it make you want to take a crap?
No, I know exactly how I feel about it. I feel like there's going to be a lawsuit, and Lenny Kravitz is going to ask for his sound back.
Never gonna fly away. Never gonna fly away. Yeah, yeah.
Monkey is so much
I
better
hate
than
that
that.
song. I
Fuck you.
fucking hate it.
Don't hate on Lenny Kravitz.
Fucking hate. You want me to tell you why I hate that song? Because it is. God, I hate it so much. It's making it hard for me to talk. Jesus Christ. Gotta collect myself. I hate it because 99X used to play that song every 7.5 minutes. They wouldn't even get through the next song. They'd be like, here's Fly, and then they start playing the next song, and they would get halfway through the next song, cut it off, and start playing Fly again. The only thing that used to beat that out was fucking
Was the
Dave
double
Matthews
X
Double
set of
X
Dave
set.
Matthews Band.
I'm done with Nirvana. Nirvana.
Well, that's good because Kurt was done with Nirvana about 12 years ago, give or take.
Well,
20 years ago.
whatever.
There's like 2 stations up here that I shit you not, they have like an hour or a 2-hour block that happens every third hour that is either plays Nirvana, AC/DC, or like Leonard Skinner, and that's it. Those are the only 3 bands that play.
Skinnerd. Fuck Skinnerd.
Well,
Skinnerd has not like a single good song. I don't understand why people like Leonard Skinnerd.
That's not
It-
true.
it is
They got the
literally-
Ballad of Curtis Lowe.
Leonard Skinner is the type of music that if I ever decided to drop about 50 IQ points and go date one of my cousins, I would listen to Leonard Skinner. Like, that is the perfect soundtrack for that lifestyle.
Didn't you almost date a cousin or something?
No.
Well, he did worse. I mean, he almost dated. He did your sister.
Yeah, he did date my sister, and
Yeah, that happened.
fucking caught him and my sister on my bed, which
Which, ironically enough, was the most action he had seen in a while. So
it's the most action he had ever seen at that point. And my sister was the one pushing him. I remember because as I walked in, she lifts his hand and places it on her chest. I'm like, oh shit. Oh,
you know what? No matter how you feel
the
about that,
shits.
Chris, the mere fact that it makes West like literally develop some sort of cancer every time he thinks about it makes it worth it. It's like, oh, brain cancer.
Huh?
I,
Right. It's good to know.
now that I've talked about it, I can't unsee it for the moment.
Yeah, I want you to see that hand cupping just around the edge.
Oh, you're a dick.
We can,
Just cupping
we can
around
move
the
on.
edge.
We can move on to more relevant topics because I'm so.
Oh,
bored.
there's nothing more relevant.
Hold on.
I'm so bored with this right now that I'm figuring out how to install my new toner cartridge.
Oh, I got, while you guys were talking about Doctor Who, I went and set us up.
Getting all of us for Christmas just so we can all have a nifty token. And I was going to try to put a catchphrase for each person, and West's catchphrase was going to be, "What is tact?"
Yeah.
You know that thing you shouldn't say out in public? No, exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the EDH format in Magic?
That's a two-headed giant, right?
No, it's
Or is that Commander?
It's or known as Commander. Are you guys familiar with it,
Yeah, I know what it is.
Chris?
Enough to know that I don't care because it's Magic the Gathering.
Well,
You build a 100-card deck that has no repeats. You have to have a commander in the deck. The commander justifies what colors the rest of your cards are going to be.
yeah, it's a Highlander deck. So the upside is yeah, you can spend a whole lot of money on it, but you're not going to
Did
have
you really
someone
just give it
running
another
for.
name? This is why Magic's starting to suck. It really is. They're like, hey, you play EDH? You mean Commander? You mean Highlander? Yeah.
EDH Commander Dick Twirly. I've never lost my virginity game. Like, yeah, I fucking hate Magic. Like, I hate it. I just hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
We're back to hating it.
Yeah, no, like I've had more
His
time to
moods
like
swing like a pendulum.
I've had more time to like reevaluate things I've done in my life, and like of all the money I have ever wasted, I want the money I wasted on Magic the Gathering back the most.
That's not
Little
Magic's
pieces-
fault.
Little pieces of fucking cardboard. And then the dickbaggers have the fucking gall to tell you which ones of the cardboard that you bought that you can actually use.
So
We're
you're mad
gonna
at Magic,
ban
or you
that
mad 'cause
little
Magic
piece of-
suckered you.
We're gonna ban that little piece of cardboard.
Only from tournament play.
Well, yeah, but then it gets dumbass parrot people like fucking John to be like, well, you can't play with that anymore now in this game. That's the only reason you won. Oh, really? Is that the only reason I won, or is it probably more relevant that you only win 1 out of every 74 games you play
That sounds legit.
against any deck, John? Like, no, the ban card is not what beat you. What beat you is your complete and utter inability to use tactics to play anything.
Speaking of which, did you just happen to see on well, it was just on the news. I saw it on Yahoo that like a fucking another copy of like I guess a beta Black Lotus sold for a ridiculous amount of money.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was on Yahoo. That's the only reason I know about it. I don't remember what the number was, but I mean, it was like tens of thousands of dollars.
Why? It must have been in. No, because I've seen an alpha Black Lotus sell for
I
about
think
$5
it
or
was
$6
beta.
grand.
I just made that up, but I'm assuming it was.
Well, it would have only been in beta, alpha, revised.
Yeah,
No,
I know that, but I know,
unlimited.
but beta used to be always the one everybody talked about for some reason, not alpha.
Because no one has alpha.
That would be it then.
Beta is just for whatever reason people could get their hands on it easier. Anyway, no, the reason why I'm asking about it is EDH started, and then it got popular amongst the players, and then Magic or Wizards, who makes the thing, said,
Make
"Well,
products around it.
we'll make a legal format of it," and they started providing rules to stay with because they started building it as a tournament, and then they went and changed the name to Commander for whatever reason. I guess Elder Dragon Highlander wasn't awesome enough.
No, because it makes no fucking sense.
Elder Dragons were the cards originally used to...
Right, because they had
start-
multiple colors in them. I understand
Exactly.
that.
And then Highlander because it's only one of each. Minus lands. Basic lands.
All right, so I want to let you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What sounds better? The fact that you used to use a random fucking card and it was Highlander because people wanted to reference the movie, or the fact that it's Commander, like you have this one card leading your army?
No, still prefer EDH.
They both suck because one to me is like really obscure like nerd reference way to name your shit so that no one can understand what the fuck you're talking about, and the other's a corporate sold out we're gonna steal your fucking homebrew game because we know it'll make us money name.
Oh, well,
So they both suck. I'll just give them both the award for ball suckery.
it's okay, folks. He will love Magic in about 3 weeks. Anyway, so the format, I enjoy it. I think it's a brilliant format. But they started...
Speaking of which, a little side thing. This is still talking about your formats. And this kind of, I guess, goes to Chris's ball suckery. Here's the thing I don't like about all the new varied formats of Magic. I think it's, whatever, different kinds of games. That's cool. Gives you more options. No issue with that whatsoever. The issue I have with it is now that they have multiple formats that they're constantly thinking about, supposedly, it gives them free reign to further splice up the shit that you would get when you buy booster packs. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is they have free reign to put cards in there that are flat out fucking useless except for in one specific format. Which means you have to buy that many more cards to get the cards you're looking for, which is what I think is kind of asshat.
This is what I'm getting to. Anyway, so ever since they renamed it and have given it a more unified identity, they've released...
Just pick a word, Wes. Pick one. Just pick one.
I'm trying. Shut up. They released decks specific for that format, precons, that are ridiculously good, but they also built special cards for these decks. Like, they only work in Commander. And their complete usage is only for Commander, and the only way to get them is to buy these precons.
What the fuck just happened?
Chris, did you go away?
Yeah.
Thomas? Like
everything went quiet, and then everyone disappeared, and Skype said, "There's trouble with this call. Let's help you get it back."
Yep. Yeah, I heard Wes go to give it a more, and then it was like everybody fell into a pit.
All right, so let's unanimously vote that it was Wes' fault.
Okay. But they built special cards only for this format, the only way that you can get. I'm not very happy about this, personally. Because...
It's just like when they do those damn dual decks.
Well, no, but the dual decks use already existing cards. Like, they built brand new cards that are legal just for this format.
Oh, yeah. You knew this... I saw this shit coming. I was like fucking Muad'Dib like 8 years ago. I saw this shit coming. Like, that eventually the business model would cannibalize itself, because that's what it's going to do. Well, shit like the fucking like Planes game that you made me play that one time where I was like, nope, never playing this again, because this is quite possibly the lamest shit ever. Oh wait, you mean I beat you down to 1 and then we shift planes and it swaps our life total and you win despite having no talent at all, and I had like 40 life and you had 1? Oh, okay, that's fair.
Huh?
Like, that
the
fucking...
one that use the planes as the modifier.
Well, no, I know he's talking about the plane shift thing, but... Not
there was like one that swapped life totals. There was like one that swapped fucking creatures. Yeah, like yeah. Oh, you mean the card won you the game and not like your actual talent and ability to play? Oh, okay, that's good.
That's why it's interesting, because it's a random happenstance.
Yeah, except it's not random happenstance. If you look at what those planes do, what they always do is swap the fucking paradigms, basically. So really, all you have to do to be good at playing that game is to suck. It's basically the version of Magic that John can play, because all he has to do is take his suckitude to the game table and then rely on the planes to save him. He just has to suck long enough for one to swap him so that his suckitude gets forced upon someone else, and then he can win.
He already did that when I played that new Trivial Pursuit game I have.
Huh? What do you mean?
There's a Trivial Pursuit game called Bet You Know It. And the way it works is now, instead of just being normal Trivial Pursuit, when someone's question comes up, you can bet chips, like poker chips, whether or not they know the answer. And if you bet correctly, you win the chips, you know, that the other people put in that bet against you, or you split them or whatever. And you can use those chips to buy pie pieces. So basically it allows people to buy pie pieces that had no chance otherwise of winning effectively, right? So I got it because I figured, hey,
it balances it.
It balances out.
It keeps
so
me and
people
Chris
play with
from
me.
like always being the winners.
Dick bags.
And I was playing against John, and I was like, well, so basically, what I need to do here is just bet against John every single time because he doesn't know anything. And I did that, and then he pulled an answer out of his ass, just like Wes did, and made me go bankrupt, and so I lost.
Well, you knew that was the position you put yourself in when you bought that version of Trivial
know.
Pursuit. You knew there's like that 1 in 47,000 chance that John was going to get a question.
I mean, because what's the odds of John knowing where fucking Pfizer was started at? Come on.
What?
Pfizer, the medicine company?
Oh.
Like, what country was it started in? And
He's had that question before. He had that question when we were there, because remember we bet against him the first time and he got it wrong, and we were like, John, Pfizer. Think about the name.
How's
And
it
we gave it-
spelled?
We gave him so much shit about it. That's probably the only reason he got it right a second time, is because he remembered the shaming we gave him the first time.
I think instead of shaming him from now on, we should make him a pariah and cast him out of the village. It'll prevent this from happening again.
Oh,
Vote him off the island.
is he on his way back?
No.
I thought I saw something about
He
that.
sent me a Facebook message like a week or two ago, because apparently he has like some free time on Sundays now, which does show you that his free time was so important that he's managed to send me a total of 2 Facebook messages during his free time that he has on Sunday now. But he's getting ready to finish up his basic this week, like Thanksgiving week, and he's going to go directly into AIT.
Okay.
And that'll be like 10 weeks or some shit. It'll be like middle of February or March or something like that when he's done with that. But now that he's finished with basic, he can have stuff like electronics and everything. And so he's decided, since the computers there suck, that he's going to make a great purchase. He's going to get himself a tablet. I was like, wow, what a horrible decision. But okay.
I can understand a tablet to a point. I mean, a tablet or a laptop. Tablets are cheaper.
But those are different.
Well, if you get the Windows Surface, it's not
The
that big of a
Pro.
difference.
The Pro. Do you know how much the Surface Pro costs, Wes?
No, actually, I don't, because I haven't looked at it.
That shit's over like $1,200.
Jesus Christ!
No, is he buying the Surface Pro 2 or the Surface Pro 1?
Fuck if I know. I'll just,
because
he's
the
not
Surface,
buying either one. This is what Wes said.
because the first Surface Pro, like the lower end one, was only like $800. If you buy like the best one they had, yeah, it would be like $1,200. But
But yeah, I mean, a tablet is cheaper than a laptop.
It really just comes down to, are you only going to consume things, or are you going to want to use things, right?
well, if you want to strike a balance
consume
of
a big
both, the Surface Pro is not. It's a good.
It's a computer.
The Surface Pro is a good. Yeah, it's a good balance, because it's enough of a laptop.
It's the only one that is, though.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, exactly.
I think they did.
But
a
doesn't he
phenomenal
still have
job
his-
with that.
Doesn't he still have his other computer though?
It's here at my house.
Oh, I mean, as
Take
long
it
as he, as long as he has it and can come pick it up or whatever, then a tablet's not, it's not bad.
I wonder if he ever went and saw that girl.
I don't know. Her Facebook said something about someone coming to visit her at that one point when I finally found her on there.
Oh, you did?
I don't know. I think she's deleted it again.
What? Ah, I was like,
'Cause I couldn't find her the other
I
day
want
when
to
I was
see who
trying to
this
find
person
something
looks
else.
like. I want to see how much of a train wreck this person looks like.
She looks like a. You know, she reminds me of.
Uh-oh.
She reminds me of Nicole.
Nicole.
Hardy, my boss's daughter.
Oh, her really?
My former boss's daughter. Like that, like the blonde, like
Yeah.
overly make-upped.
Oh, you mean the southern look?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cake face.
Yeah.
Is it bad that when you said that, like I pictured something out of a cartoon, like the Tick walking around with like a gigantic cake for a head?
No,
Cake
no.
face.
It's been so long since I've had cake. Like my fat boy body is screaming for it every minute of every day now. It's like cake. I'm like, no, fat ass.
Like
you
fat
can't have
bastard.
cake.
Well, go get it like a carrot cake. That way, there's a compromise
Goddamn it,
between.
goddamn it, West! I
semi-healthy-
live like 2 blocks away from a bakery. 2 blocks. 2 really short blocks.
I forgot. Do you
You're
like
fat, they're not
chocolate?
short, though. So that's the irony.
Yeah, he's right. When you're fat, that's a long way, man. It's a
I have
long way.
lost a lot of weight.
It's like stairs.
Walking.
A challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Damn it! I can't think of like reasonable stats that eating cake would give you, except like a +2 to happiness.
Plus 2 to cholesterol.
Like a +3 to flatulence.
-1 to speed.
Green Wester has gained a level.
plus 10 to diabetic. Diabetes. Everybody got to make sure they keep their Wilford Brimley stat in line.
Possibility, +1 possibility to cholesterol going up.
I always wanted to make like a real life version of Gauntlet. Because seriously, how boss would that be? Like,
Took my meat.
So you want a LARP?
yeah, no. I mean, well, what I mean is like instead of having like a jester and a knight and a wizard and a Valkyrie, have like a hobo and like a crack whore. And, like that way, when they level
Why do
up,
they have to be terrible people?
The announcer yells, "Green crack whore has gained a level."
What?
They already
Why
do
do they
that,
have
you
to
would.
be terrible people, Chris? Why?
Because the world is peopled by terrible people, West.
Well,
If you
Don't
want,
ask questions you don't know the answer to.
we can throw some normal ones in there too, like Purple Walmart Greeter has gained a level.
no, it's way too many syllables.
Nah,
Purple delivery boy.
no. You have
This is
to.
why
You have
we don't
to,
allow you to make games, West.
you have to hone it. Not delivery boy. Oh, hold on. Domino's
Mike
driver.
Messenger.
There we go.
Orange Domino's driver has gained a level.
Every time I think about West making a game, all I can think of is the land of halflings and the forest of good and evil.
What?
Instead of meat laying around on the ground, that people can pick up like syringes and crack rocks and like Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
No. Although, if you turn Gauntlet into a real life situation, everyone would always be trying to kill each other. Because every conversation would go like this: "You stole my goddamn meat! Don't do it again,
Doesn't
mother."
every conversation go like that anyway?
Yeah. I hate it when people steal my meat.
People
I'll be
steal
honest
your...
with you. At this juncture, I'm just glad people want to steal my meat.
Chris, you can show us on the doll where they touched you.
No.
But it's okay. This is not your fault. It came from a sick Sick
This
man.
This
boy.
is a safe place.
And we're probably all going to hell for picking on abused children, by the way.
That's assuming that hell exists.
Well, I mean,
that
I
out
figured, that's really the next logical step from picking on poor hobos and crack whores.
Yeah, just let's jump it up to molestation.
That's what I always do. Get a little molesting in there. Let's, make sure we...
And I want to make
Yeah.
note, Corey, you're the
Needs
only
to
one
hurry
with
up
a son.
and be January already.
Why?
Because it's like the next month anything good happens to me.
Huh?
Well, we get Comic-Con in January.
Oh God.
And there's like nothing between. Well, no, that's not fair. The Hobbit comes out in December, so I guess
That's
December's
right.
got one.
I still haven't watched the previous one.
You're so fucking sad.
Tracy ruined Lord of the Rings for me. Like, the movies are good. I'll give it credit for that, but they are so fucking boring on the 100th and 10th watch.
That sounds like a personal problem.
And she always had the 4-hour ones running all the goddamn time.
Well, I mean, if you're going to watch them, I mean...
Well, don't get me wrong. Like, the 4-hour ones are the ones worth watching. However, if they're on 24/7, no, I'm good. I've seen it.
I would wager that 19% of her electric bill was Lord of the Rings.
If you included the
other
soundtrack
percent
that
was
always
shoes.
played.
How does shoes use electricity?
She found a way.
It's called the internet. It's called ordering online. Duh. Well, we are all sad pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
No, you're pretty terrible, sir. Pretty fucking terrible.
It's not my fault. I didn't tell her to move to
My Bing bar has a news alert
Louisiana.
You
Oh
have
my
a
god, you have a
Bing
Bing bar? That's so sad.
I'm
on
sorry.
Internet Explorer.
Why are you using
Okay,
Internet
list
Explorer?
of things that are sad. There you go.
Well, I wanted to try because it just upgraded to Internet
Yeah,
Explorer.
all your answers are
11, like,
already
last
wrong.
week.
Stop talking.
No, shut the fuck up and hear me out. Whenever one of my browsers updates, I always try it out to see if it's any better than Chrome. And
It hasn't happened yet.
Internet Explorer 11 is much faster than Internet Explorers before it. It is still not as good to use as Chrome. It's faster than Chrome in a lot of cases with some sites. I have noticed that, but that's not worth it for losing all of like the nifty build-ins that Chrome has. But I tried out the Bing bar to see if it like made it more usable, and it's actually the clunkiest like piece of shit on the face of planet Earth. Like, I hate the Bing bar.
You know what I don't understand? I've had multiple people, and given these aren't people I really value their opinions, so there is that. But
way to bring up the people that you have no respect for.
I don't
Well,
value their opinions.
well, that's why I'm bringing. But like they're like Bing is so much better than Google, and I was just like,
No.
how did you draw?
It's really
this
not.
conclusion?
Because once they started having those like stupid fucking commercials about how everybody preferred Bing to Google, I was like, well, I don't. Unless they picked like the 5 people that like Bing and then use that as their like sample group, then no. But no, I actually tried it. Like, I did the side-by-side searching and shit, and most of the results on Google are actually relevant as opposed to Bing. Like, I did not. Like, I have never once used Bing and been, impressed.
Well, like Bing
with it.
to me, and I haven't used it like at all. I used it like once or twice, and I know they got like the little fancy picture search and shit like that they show you in the commercials. Like, it seems to offer something I don't need.
Well,
Like, that's the thing. Like, it offers things, and they're neat, I guess. If I had any need of them at all, it's kind of like the Xbox One, right?
So you're listening to the Nerd Method podcast with West and
Chris.
Yay, you got it this time. You can get in touch with us on what's the email? I forgot.
Hold
You
on,
forgot
let me make
too.
sure- let me make sure I know what it is without fucking it up. I have it on my phone.
I believe it is nerdmethodpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Methodpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, just email us if you want to talk to us.
You might want to re-record that. That's a clusterfuck failure right there.
I think it's a nice intro. I really think it's a nice intro. Oh.